Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Appreciate you stopping by. My name's Rhett, and this channel is to help you get sober and stay sober. And I share stories from my sobriety journey, what worked, what didn't work, and I hope that you find it valuable. If you're a subscriber, I appreciate you coming back, and if you're new, I hope you enjoy it. If you find this information useful, hit the subscribe button, share it with a friend. Today I kind of want to go over some things that I think you'll find useful. You're probably here because you're trying to quit drinking. Maybe you have quit drinking, or maybe you're curious about what your life would look like without alcohol. And I'm going to venture a guess here and say alcohol at some point in your life has probably put a strain on your relationships one way or another. I've experienced this, and most do. And if you haven't, you're lucky. But I'm going to share some things with you to help mend those relationships that may have suffered a little bit because of your drinking. And at first I want to start with the fact that you have to own it. If you were rude to someone, people left you because of your drinking problem, they saw the issue and you wouldn't accept it, and you pushed people away out of your life. Or maybe you weren't there for a loved one. Maybe you weren't there for your kids. You just weren't showing up in general. And you slowly distance yourself from people, or they couldn't be around you anymore because they saw what you were doing to yourself, and they couldn't watch. And so now that you're either completely sober or working on it, hopefully you'll find some value in this video. So, like I said, own it. You probably showed a side of yourself that you're not proud of, and you let alcohol get the best of you, and your relationship suffered. And you probably denied it for years. You said, "Oh, I don't have a problem." You're being dramatic. Maybe you shifted the blame to someone else, But own it. It's important that you do that, because it's easy to be in that victim mentality and never take responsibility for your actions. At the end of the day, you and I both know the way you act, the way you behave, that's up to you. That falls on you, and it falls on me. So own it. Stop the blame game. People around you are probably tired of being blamed. You got yourself into this mess, no one else. And it's time to take responsibility for it. So own it. Own up to your mistakes. Don't dwell on them. And say you're sorry. And mean it. Not these, half apologies or just saying it to say it. Like, truly mean it. And the people you're apologizing to, they'll notice the difference. You've probably apologized to numerous people multiple times for your drunkenness. And after a while, it gets old. And they don't believe you. Can you blame them? I certainly can't blame the people in my life that I apologized to, or said I was going to quit drinking and just didn't. So many times I told my wife, I'm done drinking after a heavy bender. And she just kind of looked at me like, she never really said much. And I never noticed it at the time. But she's, I'm sure in her head she was like, yeah, I've heard this before. And she's heard it a lot. And so you're going to have to show consistency if you really want people to believe you. You can say sorry, you can apologize as much as you want, But to a certain degree, talk is cheap. You have to show them. And this isn't gonna happen over the course of a few days, a few weeks, a few sober weekends, a few sober months. Like, you have to show up and be consistent. And you're gonna have to be patient. Depending on the scenario, people aren't just gonna, oh, they're a new person. They quit drinking. They finally did it. Like, that's not how it works. You can't expect people just to all of a sudden flip and believe that you're just this new person, because you're not yet. Sure, you may have apologized and you may have meant it, but you have to show it. And that takes time. Everyone heals differently. It's going to take some longer than others, depending on, the harm you caused them. You can't expect them just to all of a sudden be back in your good graces, because it doesn't work that way. I wish it did, but it doesn't. So you're going to be consistent and be patient. Think about how patient the people in your life that love you have been with you while you've been on, drunken rampage. I would say, put it like this. This might put it into perspective for you. However long that they've dealt with your alcoholism, just think, okay, it's going to take me that long to make it up to them. Hopefully not, but that way, you don't have any expectations of it just happening right away. And I'd venture a guess that it'll happen a lot sooner, but you're going to have to give them time and space. You can't force it on them. You can't force them to forgive you. You can't force them to think that you're some new person. It just doesn't work that way. You're going to have to set new boundaries with people that you used to drink a lot with. Your drinking buddies, your friends. But do it in a way that you're not going to burn bridges. Don't cut them off completely. If they're truly your friend, they'll understand and they'll still want to hang out with you and not drink. And there will be some friends that won't understand and you won't be able to be around them for a while. And that's okay. Because at the end of the day, it starts with you. And if you can't be around people without being tempted to drink, then you just don't be around them. And that might be hard, but it's necessary. Because they're not having to deal with the issues that you're dealing with. They only see the good times, you guys drinking, having fun. They don't see the aftermath of your drinking when you go home and your family's pissed off at you, your kids won't even look at you, your spouse won't communicate with you. They don't see that part. They don't have to deal with it. So it's up to you. But it's possible. Own it. Be consistent. And of course, be patient. And it'll work out. So, I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, leave some comments in the comment section below. Hit the like and subscribe button. And I'll see you on the next one.